What did your parents say to you as a kid that still affects you today? My dad walked out when I was 6, leaving my mom to raise 3 kids alone while battling MS. The day he left, she gathered us in our tiny kitchen and said something I'll never forget. We're not broken, we're just reorganizing. Living on disability checks meant a lot of instant noodles and hand-me-downs. Mom couldn't work regular hours because some days she could barely walk, but she never missed a parent-teacher conference, even if it meant using her walker. I was in 4th grade when my teacher, Mrs. Walsh, announced our class project, Building Family Trees. Everyone else excitedly talked about their grandparents and cousins. I just stared at my blank paper. That night, I told Mom I was sick and couldn't go to school tomorrow. She felt my forehead, then looked at my backpack where I'd stuffed the family tree worksheet. "Show me," she said quietly. When she saw the empty branches, her hands trembled. But instead of letting me skip school, she grabbed markers and started drawing. She added her parents who'd died before I was born. She drew her sister Beth, who lived in Alaska. She even drew our grumpy neighbor Frank, who always shoveled our driveway in winter without being asked. "Family isn't just blood," she said, coloring in the branches. "It's anyone who chooses to love you." I thought everything was fixed until Randy Fuller saw my tree during show and tell. He pointed at the blank space where my dad should be and laughed. "What, your dad didn't want you either?" I punched him, hard, got suspended for 3 days. Mom had to drag herself to school using both her cane and walker that day. Principal Barnes started lecturing about violence, but Mom cut him off. "My daughter stood up to a bully. Where were your teachers when he was mocking her family?" Barnes shifted uncomfortably. "Mrs. Peterson, we understand your situation is difficult." "My situation?" Mom's voice could have frozen hell. "You mean being a single mother? Or having MS? Please enlighten me about my situation." She pulled out a folder. Inside were notes from every time I'd reported Randy's bullying, all marked resolved with no action taken. "I may not be able to run marathons anymore," she said, "but I can sure as hell fight for my kid. So either you start doing your job, or I'm taking these to the superintendent." Randy got 2 weeks suspension. His parents had to come in for counseling about bullying, but the real change happened when Mom spoke at a PTA meeting about families like ours. Other single parents started speaking up. Kids with divorced parents, kids being raised by grandparents, kids with gay parents. Suddenly everyone with a different family found their voice. Mom organized a support group that met in our living room. On bad days when she couldn't get out of bed, other parents brought casseroles and helped with laundry. Their kids became like siblings to us. Last week, my own daughter had to make a family tree for her class. She drew it huge, including Mom, now Grandma, her aunts and uncles, my former step-siblings, our old neighbor Frank, still shoveling driveways at 80, and all the bonus relatives we'd collected over the years. Her teacher marked it incorrect because it didn't follow the traditional format. I went to the school the next day, walking with the same confidence Mom had shown all those years ago. I didn't need a walker or cane, but I carried something stronger, her words about what makes a real family. The principal started explaining about standard genealogy formats, but I held up my hand. "My mother taught me that family trees don't grow in straight lines," I said. "They grow however they need to survive." My daughter got an A+ on her unconventional but accurate family tree, and now I'm organizing a support group for non-traditional families at her school. Mom's MS has gotten worse, but her mind is still sharp. When I showed her my daughter's family tree, she smiled that fierce smile I remember from childhood. "See," she said, "we didn't just survive, we created something beautiful."